Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you're having a good morning. I want to sit down here, have a cup of coffee. I hope you have something to get your morning started. And salute to you and the day you're having today. Well, today I'll, I've spent the last couple of days talking about empathy and caring. Today is a tougher subject and talk about empathy and fairness. Caring is actually one of the true unifying things across many different people. It's there is people that don't care. There, there are people, and there's actually a lot more than you think. At least that's what scientists tell us. But overall, that seems to be the one thing that's pretty universal. A lot of people, uh, they care. It is something that definitely uh, has a lot of cohesion in our society. Fairness is a little more difficult. Fairness is important to everybody, but the problem sometimes lies into what is fair. Um, there are very sticky issues, uh, and sometimes it really cuts across uh, people's deep concerns. My dad was uh, a person more closely aligned with where I got my fairness from. But my mom was also fair as well. My mom's big thing with fairness was equal treatment. Uh, she wanted everyone to have equal treatment. Yeah, that's easy to understand. She's a nurse, and to her, uh, everybody that came through the doors of her hospital, no matter what they were, whether they were uh, annoying people or poor or rich or demanding or quiet, that she wanted them all to have fair treatment. So, yeah, that's pretty easy to do. My dad was instrumental in me thinking about things that are much more difficult to think about. He would think about treatment like taxes, and he was a big advocate of a tax program that was called a flat tax. And he was also a program of universal basic income. He thought everybody should have this, and everyone should have the amount of money it took to have like a basic life in our society and pay for it. So he wanted universal basic income, and he also wanted a flat tax. And he had his different reasons, and you guys can Google up the pros and cons of those two different programs. There's quite a discussion on each. But to him, it was all about fairness and keeping things fair no matter who you were. And he would often um, tell me, his desires to have everybody have a good life together and enjoy living here in the United States. They wanted it to be done fairly. Both my parents, story about my dad. This is a little bit more caring than fairness, but uh, when he was a young boy, he would, during the Depression, there wasn't money to buy food, so he would hook up a wagon, hay wagon, go down to St. Louis, pick people up, take them to the farm to feed them. They would give them food, all the free food they could, and the food was uh, uh, just given out to people so that they could enjoy it. The that's he wanted he was trying to be caring and fair to those people that were in trouble. But he was really hard on those that abused their power, um, people that were abusive to their children, uh, or things of that nature would really upset him. I mean, really upset him. He believed that every child should have uh, a area of true safeness at their homes. He wanted everyone to have it to grow up with their childhood and enjoy it. He was he was a good guy, very caring. He wanted me to do the same, to be kind to others and look after them. My looking back, I was not a very good son in some respects. Uh, Drank a little bit, had an automobile accident, but my dad took care of me, looked after me. We do a lot of stupid things in life, and sometimes even the people that are the most fair, they don't look at just fairness, they look at everything. I'm sorry. Thinking about my dad and all he did for me is kind of reminding me so much of him. It's kind of hard for me to vocalize the fairness, empathy. But okay, I'll get off my dad for a sec. I'll just talk about fairness with with my kid's mom. My ex-wife, my kid's mom, I tried, when it was difficult. We would not see eye to eye on a lot of things that had to do with punishment and control of the kids. But I never tried to say anything in front of the children because I was definitely more lenient on them, good or bad. Nobody's, please don't judge me or her. There's a lot of hard choices when you're raising children and the long term impact for them. So my my children would do something, and then I would try to meet with her away from them. You guys go to your room. And then her and I would discuss it so that we could have, when we have what we decided to do about what they'd done, they didn't feel like one or the other was the bad guy. And I did that so that I didn't want them growing up thinking good or bad about us. We're your parents. We want to be equal in your eyes. Uh, it became difficult during the divorce, but we do what we can. The fairness is something I want everyone to have. My wife, Jackie, I feel like she was treated a little unfairly because um, during her separation from her husband before me, she was in a country where the law did not see her and her husband as equals. Uh, they saw the husband as being more the head of the house, and he decided certain things. Those laws have subsequently changed, but during that time, it was kind of unfair. So, politics and fairness is a tough thing. But I think, like caring, everybody has believes in the fairness. They believe they. It's one of those things that we can talk about fairness more than any other thing in empathy. So, like I said, caring seems to pull us together. Caring is usually pretty straightforward. Not all the time, but usually. Fairness is something else that pulls us together. Not always exactly the same. There may be a lot of misunderstandings about fairness, but we just, we can usually talk about them. I gotta pull this so Luna can get her ball. She gotta get that ball. So when you meet somebody, remember they probably care. They probably have empathy. It is quite uh, oh shoot, gotta get the ball. It is quite a universal thing to have fairness. But what is fair? What happens when oh, I'll give you a tough one that is being debated right now. What happens when a 12-year-old girl says she wants to be a boy? Some people think the fairness would be to give her some beta blockers and keep her from trying but going through puberty. And some people think that uh, those decisions shouldn't be made when they're only 12 years old. So there's a lot of discussions around that, both of which are trying to be fair. They're trying to be fair to her and trying to be fair to her later in life when she may think differently. It's tough. Some of these things are really tough. But anyways, you guys have a wonderful day. Try to keep aware, care, fairness pulls us together. Don't always agree, but it pulls us together. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later.